Hi, my name is Brandon, and over the past year, the Delay Cafe team and I have traveled across the U.S. researching this rapidly growing industry of CBD products. What we have found throughout the industry were products that were inconsistent in dosage and used ingredients that weren't even lab tested. Products with chalky textures, bitter aftertaste, and worst of all, confusion among the CBD consumers. That's why we created Delay Cafe. A 15 milligram lab-tested, all-natural, water-soluble hemp CBD powder pack. It's odorless, colorless, and tasteless. Add it to your favorite drink of choice, wherever, whenever, on the go. Quickly find your calm, your balance, and your delight when you need it most.
Good morning. Good morning. Java Delight will uplift you. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. Grab your coffee. Stay tuned. This show is about to begin.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing today? My name is Gavin Kerr, and today I am joined yet again by the most wonderful Brett Gordon. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm awake. It's again 7 o'clock in the morning out here in Las Vegas, and it's damn near like good morning Vietnam.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, I'm kind of riddled with bug bites. I went to my brother's house yesterday to go swimming, and I had an absolute blast. Swam with him and his old lady and his kid. He's got like a 7-month-old son, and so we had just like a nice little family time in the pool. I had my speaker with me, but then after that, we went over to the hammocks. He's got a bunch of trees in his backyard. He's got hammocks, and we went and laid there, and I got bit up. Like I was worried about getting sunburned, so I doused myself in sunscreen, and I should use bug spray.
Oh man, well,
yeah.
I'm usually one of the lucky ones where bugs don't normally like me. So
No,
where others get all bit up,
nobody normally likes you.
Hey, look at that! What is that? That looked like a flashback.
Nobody normally likes you.
Hey,
look like a dickhead.
I was gonna say, who's that? The head mofo? What's in charge?
I'm sorry, looks like a dickhead. I have shaved, so at least it's a clean dickhead.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't resist
to Brett.
I was picking on Brett. I could not wait to be able to pick on Brett this morning. I am awake. I've been drinking ginger tea.
Back from the dead.
Oh, it felt like that for a minute. I almost sent you guys a text message on Sunday just saying, guys, I finally have a full poop that happened. It's not just me peeing all the time. Like, I was so excited that I actually had a bowel movement and not anything else. Like, it was so sick for a while there.
I'm really so what's going on with the 5 o'clock shadow and then the full beard there?
So my razor decided not to work anymore, and hi guys, and I was like, it just kept buzzing in the middle of the night. It would go, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why is it doing this? What's it buzzing for? Plugged in, charging, didn't matter. It would always be buzzing. So what did I do? I not only tried to get it to work, I didn't get it to work. I had to switch razors, switch to my dad's trimmer just to trim my beard, and then I trimmed it a little short on the top, and now I feel I look Amish.
A little bit. I dig the landing strip. I like that.
I literally, hello. Oh, is this a new one, or do you guys have? Is this a friend you guys know? Hello.
I don't know. I'd love to learn.
Good morrow. It's good to see you. I am alive. I'm hanging in there. It has been a wonderful. I had such a busy week, and with you guys, and then I turned around and got sick as a dog. You guys heard me when we were in Vegas. I was coughing up a lung at times, and then all of a sudden,
I heard you on the drive home. You were like progressively getting worse and worse, like that. So on the drive there, I think it's safe to say you definitely did majority of the driving. I tried to make it sure it was split 50-50, but you did a lot, especially at the very beginning. But the drive back, I gladly took majority of the hours because I knew that you were hurting, man. Like you were.
I got home. I was sleeping a lot. And when I say a lot, I was literally dead. I was sleeping an average of 14 to 16 hours a day. My mom was trying to get me to like watch a movie with her at times, and I couldn't move. And end of it all, I was sick, but I wasn't sick. It was like a horrible cough, chest congestion, headache. I did get vomiting a little bit here and there, but at the end of the day, I wasn't even eating. Like I did not want to eat. So I'm just glad to be alive. I'm grateful I'm here. We have a lot of good things coming up over the next few weeks. Brett is like been a hero to me. Are you all up after taking the girls in South Africa wee hours of the morning? I mean, talking to girls in South Africa in the wee hours. Well, I haven't talked to any South Africans, and I'm single, so like it'd be nice. I tried flirting recently. It didn't go well. She walked away in the middle of me talking to her, and so I've learned a lesson. I forgot how to flirt.
You forgot how to flirt? What do you mean? What do you mean you forgot how to flirt?
I literally am good at like making everybody laugh and communicate and make them like talk to me, but they all are like, "Oh, you're a good friend, Brandon." Like I literally I make you laugh, but I could make it much worse on myself. I had a girl that it was her birthday, and we're friends, and I know this, and I wasn't trying to get with her in any way, but she spent the entire birthday talking about this guy that she likes who can't be there because he's with his girlfriend. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, if he has a girlfriend, stop fucking around with him. Like, for real. Like, don't even look at him like that. And she's like, oh, you just don't understand. And I go, that's fine, but like, don't chase somebody who says he's taken, you know? Yeah. And then she's like, why?
Now, is he stringing her along?
I think so, but she doesn't think so. And I'm just doing it as a guy's perception. And personally, we're always wrong, I'm told. So I'm just accepting the fact that I'm wrong in her eyes, and will accept the fact that when she sees I'm right, I'm still going to be wrong. I accept this.
Yeah.
That's what marriage is, apparently. I've seen how my parents work.
Even when she's wrong, she's right.
Correct.
Yeah, I see that all the time.
You know what's funny? So actually, I had one relationship, because I've tried implementing that into quite a handful of my relationships, and usually when it comes to arguing, especially with a significant other, I don't care enough about the situation to argue with it. So I'll just let them have it, because it's not worth the fight to me. It's not worth the being frustrated with each other. So I'll just go with it. Every now and again, I'll put my foot down on something and be like, no, this is how it is. This is what I believe. Take it or leave it, kind of deal.
I love this person already. They're on my side. I love you already. Yeah. I'm moving to South Africa.
But I've had one relationship where when she's wrong, she's right thing has worked out, as far as like just like saying that as like a mantra, like even when she's wrong, she's right, because it got me kisses, it got me more cuddles, like it got all this extra love, like she baking cookies, stuff like that. Like but only the one time out of X amount of, like a handful of times, probably half a dozen times, that I've tried implementing that mantra. The other time with a previous relationship, she hated that I would just let things go.
Really?
Yeah, like it really irritated her because I told her like I just don't care enough about the situation. She thought that meant I didn't care about her or her feelings.
No, you were
Yeah,
justifying
no,
where you were with things. You're like,
yeah,
look, I have all this other shit in my life. I don't
yeah.
want to deal with something that's going to be not bothering me next week.
Like,
All
can't we
right,
just get along, baby?
I have. I hate you. Question.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Thank you, Sherry. I miss you guys. I am so excited to be back. Now that you're dating again, I have a question on that. Okay.
Yeah.
I had a girl that I dated years ago. She has 2 kids. We both understand. We are not looking to have a relationship, but just go on a date and have an adult conversation and enjoy. Thanks, Fernando. Good morning, Shauna Jones. Just looking to have an adult conversation, share a glass of wine, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and we're sending messages, being nice to each other. And I'm like, look, all I'm looking for is someone to talk to that's going to be fun and have an adult conversation. I'm not expecting you to put out. You can expect me to put out. I'll be there for you. But at the end of the day, I'm not expecting it. But I literally, and this is no joke on this, I go, what do you want to do? Like, what's your favorite glass? What's your favorite wine? And she's like, oh, rosé. So I'm like, okay, why don't I make you dinner one night?
Okay.
Like, that's a good deal, right? Most women want a guy that's going to make them dinner. Nah, this girl starts picking these like freaking expensive restaurants. I'm like, yeah, you and I are going to work. And I'm like, I was looking to have fun with you, but I'm not going to go spend $300 on a dinner just so you can feel like you had a good night and all that.
Yeah, Olive Garden's pricey. Those breadsticks don't come cheap.
Soup, salad, breadstick, or the McDonald's dollar menu. Those are your options now.
Right.
Like,
eating at McDonald's because Subway's pricey.
have you ever had a girl or a date ever do that to you? Where you're like, they like tell you, oh, I want to go here instead.
Yeah.
No.
Look, I get that here and there, but like usually that's in like date 5, date 7. It's not that first date. It's not, the first date is just literally getting you guys a chance to talk. And if you've dated before, it's just a conversation. I don't need to woo you. I've already wooed you once. No,
but one of the first things that like in the opening up process and things like that, I'm very honest about how much I make, which is not a lot. And I'm like, yeah, because they ask me like, oh, like you do all these crazy things, stuff like that. I'm like, yep, it's because I don't make any money. So I just like to be creative. So I pick up a lot of strange little hobbies that are cheap and fun and easy.
All right, Brett, worst first date you've ever been on. Go. Everybody can write a comment in here about your worst first date. I'll give you a clue. Hold on. I got one while you think because I'll see it. I've had many horrible first dates. I'm the best at worst first dates. Okay? I pick these people that just, they love me because I have this good energy. What did you do? Did you just sneeze your soul out? Did you catch it? Did you put it back?
I just remembered a very strange first date that I had.
All right, you're next. All right, hold on. Write it down so we don't forget.
Oh, I cannot forget this one.
All right, I'll tell you mine really quick, and then we'll go from there. It was a first date. I took her to Hibachi. Okay, because she's never been. Yeah, in Independence, blah, blah, blah. This was years ago. Since I took her there, and I'm not a strip club guy at all. I don't want, like, here's $20 for you to dance on me for one song. Bite my ass. That's $20 I worked hard for. Like, so I'm not a strip club guy. Well, I didn't know she was a stripper. And that came out during our dinner. So she took me to her strip club. I had to pay the entrance fee, and she left me for another guy while at the strip club. It was the worst first date ever.
Wow.
Wait, you ready for this? I'm going to turn this story around, find the positive, right? Since then, she's had 2 kids, and she's with this guy that she's with now for years. But she's one of my best customers with Delight. She's like, you're one of the nicest people I ever had to take me on a date. You treated me with respect. Even after I treated you like shit, you still were nice to me. She literally buys a box of Delight every month just because she sees how much it helps. So I made a friend, but it was one of my worst. And I tell her that all the time. Like, you were one of my worst first dates. Brett Gordon, worst first date. Go.
Met this girl. She was a friend of some friends in college, and there was a concert coming up for Genesis. Genesis was coming to town, so I invited her to the Genesis concert. We're there with a couple other friends and watching the concert. And I go to put my arm around her just nicely, and she like backs away really violently. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I understand.
And I'm like, okay, so I don't know what's really going on. The rest of the night is kind of iffy and so forth. And I'm like, what's going on? Then I start talking to my friends, and they're like, oh, she just wrote this love letter to this other girl that was at the party when you were there. And so she was lesbian, didn't know it, went out on the date. And, she was still kind of a friend, but it was one of those things where, you went out as friends, and I guess you weren't necessarily saying, hey, are you straight? Are you gay? It doesn't.
I don't ask
that. Did you establish that it was a date before you went out?
Did we establish it was a date before we went out?
Yes.
No, I bought the tickets for the Genesis concert because I just wanted to have. Yeah, it was a date.
So that's a big thing. So you bought the tickets. She knew you bought the tickets for the concert, and then you turn around and she's like, "Oh, I'm with somebody else."
Well, she didn't even say that. I just heard it from friends of mine who knew of her, and that she had just sent this love letter to this other girl that was a friend of hers. So that was kind of the worst first date. Other than, I guess even before that, it was, dating myself, and my hands rejected me.
I knew something was coming like that with him. I knew it. So really quick, Shauna Jones had a guy take her through the McDonald's drive-through with his dad in the car too. I have to be honest.
How old were you? How old were you during this?
Thank you. That threw me because I'm picturing I have not taken a girl through McDonald's ever. I make it a joke, but you don't do that. I would rather take you to the gas station and buy you a coffee and a 5-hour energy than McDonald's. All right, Gavin, before I read Fernando's worst date ever, what is your worst first date?
So I was 19 at the time, and I had matched with this 29-year-old woman on Tinder. I thought this was awesome. I was all like, yeah. Getting some of that MILF action. Look at me, stud. She was a really great woman. She was a great looking woman. Had a career, all that stuff. She was set. She had her ducks in order. However, we meet at like a Books A Million or something like that. Because in the Plaza was the theater we were going to. We go to the movies. We saw it was one of the Conjuring movies, but it was garbage. We got probably 15 minutes into it, started getting a little handsy, and we're like, you know what, this movie sucks. Let's leave. We go back to her house and hang out for a little bit. Once we're done hanging out, she breaks out a bottle of wine and drinks probably half this bottle by herself within a span of maybe 30 minutes. Just keeps pouring glasses while she's talking to me, drinking all this wine. And then we're sitting down on the couch, we're watching a movie and stuff like that. We get back into it again. We finish that. We were watching the movies, and something like a switch was flipped after that third glass of wine, because she starts remembering other movies, and every time she remembered a movie, she would change the TV to that movie. I watched 5 minutes of 15 damn movies that night. Yeah. On top of that, she did this thing where we were sitting watching TV, and we're cuddling, and she'd look at me now and again. She'd go, "Do you think I'm crazy?"
Yes.
I'm like, "What?"
You're always supposed to say yes.
She goes, she's all like, "No, I'm sorry. I just keep drinking and changing. You should probably think I'm crazy by now. You're supposed to think I'm just this old lady. You must think that I'm so annoying." I'm like, "No, you're good. You're good. 5 minutes later. But seriously, do you think I'm crazy?" She did that like 4 or 5 times. And it got to the point where I was all like, you know what? I'm starting to think you're kind of crazy. And so this goes on for a while, and she's trying to get me to stay the night. And in my mind, I'm like, it rubs the lotion on its skin. I don't want the hose.
Yup.
Yeah. So I tell him, like, ooh, you know what? I got to get going. I don't have a charger for my phone, which I did not. And my phone is going to die soon. So I need to get to a gas station and get a portable charger, which was all true. Because I don't know how to get home because I'm an hour and a half away and nobody knows that I'm here. And so eventually we say our goodbyes, do the goodbye kiss on stuff. And I did talk to her and text her after that. She did end up calling and apologizing for getting hammered. And but she just kept asking me the whole time. She goes, "You sure I'm not crazy? You don't think I'm crazy? Okay, I just don't want you to think I'm crazy.
If you have to ask, you are.
If you have to ask, then you might be. But if you keep asking multiple times, whether you are or not,
You get
you're gonna.
what?
Yeah.
You get one ask of that. Oh, I'm just crazy. I'm sorry. Get used to it.
Yeah.
If I hear that more than once on our first date, guess what? You are the crazy one.
Yeah.
There is no second date. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'd give him a second date. Just depends how everything else went.
Just so you can continue that conversation. Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
We did a second date, but I set a sober rule because I didn't feel like watching. Yeah, sober.
Sober.
Yeah. Because I was like, I'd like to finish a movie if we put one on, and I like to talk to you and not crazy.
So I'm laughing my ass off over here because I'm reading the comments of first dates. Worst first date ever was Fernando. He had a guy that grabbed his ass on the first date, or butt. Sorry, he was sensitive. He was cautious with his words. I apparently wasn't.
I had work shifts where people grabbed my butt.
I was just about to say, I've walked in public and had people grab my ass. Like, I don't know about that, buddy. Grabbing a butt is almost like free range nowadays, especially if you have a great butt. If you're a
guy, it's free range.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree. Well said. But then again, I would walk up if the butt is that nice. I don't care if it's a guy or girl. I'll walk up and be like, "You have a phenomenal ass," and then just keep walking. But he said the guy was boring anyways, and had to ask him questions in order to keep him talking. I've been on those dates. People are shy. Bob Seymour says he gave up dating and he's content with his bromance with Bullwinkle. Good luck with you in the gas tank.
Yeah, but he always tags. He's got Natasha tagging along just in case they get in a fight with Bullwinkle.
So, just out of curiosity, where is Bob right now? Is he back in Colorado?
Yep. That's why he's nice and chilly up there, I think, today.
You know what sucks is I would like to see Bob come to Ohio. He's actually not that far from you, Brett. He's closer to you than he is us. But I would love to see Bob Seymour come to Ohio because, guys, I think if I could get Bob to come here, I think we could convince Gavin to apply to go down and visit Jessica Dugas too, and we do a vegan fest down at Jessica Dugas's place and just eat like crazy. She is not going to be here today, but she is loved. So that was my way of giving it to her.
I like that.
Brian Tracy says the worst first date ever. A blonde stripper so dumb she didn't even know what the military was. Yeah, I'm going to skip that. So Sherry McQueen says, ditto, Bob, except I'm in a relationship with myself. I'm proud of you, Sherry. Oh. And this is where I lost my shit. I started laughing way too hard. Fernando, I think Brian's worst first date ever is the one where she pooped herself while doing the act. And I'm like, what? And then he goes, when I say pooped, I mean pooped a huge willy. Now I'm even more confused. And I'm feeling so bad for Brian.
That's supposed to be popped?
It's supposed to be popped.
I think pooped.
But even popping a willy, there's a lot here. And then Shauna Jones, I'm recently divorced, don't want to date anyone. I'm happy with myself. Honestly, Shauna, love you for saying that because the truth is, Gavin and I are out of relationships. Gavin can date everybody under the sun because he's beautiful.
I got a date tonight. I'm so excited.
See, beautiful.
I got an awesome date tonight. I'm very excited.
Yeah, my date tonight is like working. I'm catching up on things because I've been behind. But like, I have no desire to date right now. I'm happy and want to love myself. I'm literally trying to know me better than anything else right now. And the person that's meant to be with me will fall in line. Difference between 38 and 21. As I pointed at Brett. Ooh,
Well,
sorry,
I was
Brett.
going to say at 58, I don't even remember what they are. So
I love myself plenty, all right?
At 21, I thought I loved myself too. But you never know when you're going to have a huge willy pop out. Even me, Shauna, I date myself now. I love it. Bob Seymour is laughing his butt off. Brian has a lot of interesting stories. Oh my God. Yes, he does. It is hilarious. One day we're going to get Brian out here. We're going to have a bonfire all of the group together, and we're not going to go live at all. We're just going to tell silly stories. I have a feeling Brian is going to be able to outdo all of us. He is just going to be able to like one match every person's story. He just strikes me as that.
I got some that aren't Java Delight appropriate.
well,
Yeah,
that's
that's why I
why
said-
that's the Marine coming out there.
Yeah.
Right. That's and there's thank you, Sherry. There's a lot of that out there. Bob's headed to South Dakota. Bob, do me a favor, take a picture of Mount Rushmore, but I want your head as the fifth head. Okay, so it's not just your normal picture around Mount Rushmore. I want it like.
They should have a viewing area where you'd be able to get that. No, where you'd be able to get that angle easily.
You know what? We need to go find it, Kevin. I think we need to go on a road trip again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might as well start tomorrow. You're recovered.
I know. Brandon just gets better the next day. He jumps in a car. Guys, where are we going? I don't know. We're just going somewhere, guys. Let's go.
Yes.
I was supposed to spend my 4th of July in Lake Tahoe. I was invited to Lake Tahoe get to watch.
Right.
Yeah. I was going to fly. I was getting flown out to California. I was going to see fireworks off the edge of a balcony off of Lake Tahoe. And then my favorite part of it all was they had a band that was playing at the other end of the lake. So you could literally watch the band from this like view. And I was looking at all their Instagram stories and I'm like, oh, man, I'm so jealous. But I'm actually glad I didn't go. I needed the rest. As I was going to be here yesterday and Brett texted me in the morning and I was still coughing and I could barely keep my eyes open. My sleep schedule changed drastically. I was sleeping so much. Like I could go to bed at like midnight. Let's just use that as an easy point. I wouldn't wake up until 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And I'd be like dripping sweat, take a shower, go right back to bed.
What do you do? Is that what you do? You go and you take a shower when you're dripping sweat like that? Like when you have that fever?
Depends on how I'm feeling in that moment. Yeah.
I put more blankets on me. Like, I bundle up even more.
Well, so were you running a fever or were you just having night sweats?
I had no fever ever. Like I never got like you could put your hand on me and it never warm. But I couldn't eat. Like I told you guys the one day I literally ate like one meal and it was like toast. And I couldn't hold it down and my stomach was insane. I just wanted to die. Why don't you say my name? Because I don't want to mess it up. Give me? No, I don't know how to pronounce it. Somebody help me. Say it. Yeah, none of you want to.
Delport.
Ilsa Delport. Ilsa. All right, you got to give me a clue, Ilsa. And I don't hear you saying my name. I see you writing it. Ha, I knew it. Yeah, send your friends this way, too. I want to challenge me to see what names I can and can't get. I bet you I get 90% of them wrong.
Yeah.
Did I get it close? Ilsa Delport. I'm going to add an accent to it, too. So Jessica Dugas is not going to be here today, even though her segment would be here in 30 seconds.
Hey, we got it.
There you go, Brandon.
That's right. I got you. Ilsa Delport. That's right. Yeah, that's my little like Spanish coming out.
I thought you were having a stroke.
It sounded like that.
Yeah.
Fernando's over here laughing at me.
Strokey.
Have you ever? So Jessica Dugas is not here. Her entire family got sick. They ended up getting COVID, a bunch of them.
Right.
They're getting better. I just want to take a moment here to say, Jessica, we love you. We're sending you good vibes. We're going to pick on each other a little bit more before our guest comes in. I'll read the bio for our guest, Kawan, today. You guys are not going to want to miss him. He sounds like a pretty stinky cool dude. Doing a little bit of research beforehand. Kawan, he is... After many trials, Kawan found himself in the fitness and business world where things he thought he understood. He became a master trainer and co-owns 3 gyms. Before that, there were many failures, and he underwent, and he's still learning today. He hosts a podcast, The ValueVerse. He is currently building a brand that helps individuals achieve better outcomes in life that lead them towards success and learning from failure. By going from zero to hero, a top trainer in a highly recognized gym chains, he has been helping with building 3 profitable gyms. He's been through it all and can save you years of pain. So he is going to be here. His name is Kawan K. I'm not going to ask if he has a Shabbat. Hi, guys. That's Shabbat from the IFAH.
Hey.
Love you, man. Hey, it's good to see
How's
you.
it going, Shabbat?
Sorry, guys. ADD. Applause all around. Okay. Round of applause. Or round of applause. Oh, I can't do the whole spin.
Nope.
So
You woke the dogs up, Brandon.
no, the dogs were already up. They were in the bathtub with my mom. Well, in the bathroom with my mom while she's in the bath. They will bark at everything. Hey, Shabbat. I love it. Fernando, Shabbat, Fernando. Thank you so much, brother. Absolutely, brother. I look forward to connecting with you. I got sick last week, bud, but I look forward to connecting with you soon. And the guy who says hello to you is Fernando. We're going to connect you two together because I want you guys to be able to not only connect, but Shabbat, I want to get you on here and explain a little about everything we did at these conferences, everything we're doing. The next one's in Dubai, and we're already looking at how we can get out there and be with you guys more because it was such a great conference. So love you all. Very excited. And Shabbat, thank you for stopping by.
I do have my passport.
I got mine back this weekend.
Oh, nice.
My ex literally out of nowhere sends a text, hey, I'm going to be at your parents' house in 5 minutes. I'll leave your stuff in front of your car. And I'm like, she was nicer than that, but she found my passport and stuff. And I was like, thank God.
Wait, how long is the drive to Dubai? Did you like that?
That's all I got because I know we can't do that.
Right.
She said, Delport says, hello, Shabbat. Hello from all the way from South Africa. So
Elsa's in South Africa.
She is. Now, I will make you a deal, Ilsa. You come tomorrow and bring a friend. I actually have a shirt from my sister swimming with great white sharks in South Africa. She did a whole 1-year trip out there, and she swam with great white sharks, fed them chum. She raised baby lions. She's done a whole bunch of things. I 100% will wear this shirt tomorrow, and it's perfect because it's a pink shirt, and we wear pink on Wednesdays.
Oh, yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. I have a whole outfit set out for tomorrow.
We also work out on Wednesdays. That's why I haven't been wearing
for
pink.
Joe, too.
Yeah, we have pink for Joe, too.
Yeah, Joe loves pink.
I love it. I love it. Yes. So there, she says, yes, I'm in. Shabbat can't wait to meet us in person. He literally was not able to make some of the trip because of the fact that the regulations with COVID and everything in Dubai and all that right now, they're just struck, you know. But we've had so many conversations. He is an amazing individual. I look forward to connecting more. I'll be in Rockford, Illinois, mid-September. So maybe, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to meet Bob Seymour in mid-September. I want you guys to read this, screenshot it, save it. We're going to commit this to him. He is headed southwest for the winter. That is going to be when we have Bob Seymour on. Bob Seymour is not only going to meet us, we're going to make him breakfast. We're going to give him a hug. And Don't worry, buddy. You're going to get out of there soon enough. We're going to have you healthy. We got delight for you when you get out.
Yeah. We'll take care of you.
I may be out there that same time for my 41st high school reunion in Waukegan. Yeah, because the 40th got shut down because of COVID.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm going to really show myself here. How many people are in your graduating class? Like, are they doing 40 and 41 together because of it?
No. It's really going to be, instead of the 40th last year, it's going to be 41 and 21.
Does anybody go to their high school reunions other than Brett? I have never gone to one, and this year is my 20th reunion, and I have not 1 ounce of me that wants to go.
I have more fun now talking to the people in high school than I did when I was in high school. I didn't get along with a good part of the people when I was in high school. So now I do, and it's a blast going to those.
I love that, but at the same point, I hate
my
it.
girlfriend.
You know what? I have no rebuttal there. My high school sweetheart, I would have no desire to see.
Do they do it?
No,
is it like every 10
10
years that high school reunions happen? Is that what that is?
It depends on the school.
5.
Okay.
In our case, every 5. And it was on my 35th high school reunion that I met my girlfriend.
See, I
didn't know her in high school.
Miss Delport and I are on the same page. I'm having my 20th year. I literally, to this day, okay, I'll give you an example. One of the guys I graduated with lives on my parents' street now, 4 houses down. So the other day, I'm out walking, this is right before we left for Vegas, so a month ago. And I'm out walking. I have not seen this guy in 20 years. He pulls up next to me in his big-ass truck, okay, which is fine. I'm not, no judgment on your small penis or anything. Just you enjoy your big truck. And, yeah, that's right, Gavin. I made that joke. But he pulls up next to me, and instead of being like, hey, let's catch up, and being cordial and nice, he starts being a dickhead. And I go, well, it was not nice talking to you. And I just kept walking. I'm like, what the hell is wrong? So it made it even easier. He just thought it was funny to make jokes that we'd make in high school that would be insulting then and show low class. And I'm sitting there going I have no desire to interact with somebody that thinks these are still appropriate. He has 7 kids, and I'm sitting there going, that's how you're raising your kids? Dude, he's not even the one that has the most. I have a graduating class of 33.
Yeah.
Okay. Small, right? Now,
Very small.
Very small.
That's a classroom.
Yeah, for real. We had one guy and girl get married the day after we graduated. They have 9 kids. This guy got married not long after that. He has 7 kids. There's 2 other girls in the class that married guys they went to college with. They both have an average of 5 kids each. And those are just the ones I know of. We almost have our class in kids. And I'm sitting here going,
my business partner down in Mexico has 18 kids.
Like the movie Yours, Mine, and Ours.
He's got some that are in their mid-30s, and he's got one that's not even a year old.
Wow. He just likes restarting the clock, huh? Is there a tax game that he's playing now at this point?
No. And he's actually, been able to help his kids go through college if they wanted to go through college.
Is he going for a world record?
Well, he's definitely working his way up to the top. That's for sure.
All right, because as far as I'm concerned, what's Genghis Khan holds that record, so he's got a ways to go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if you go back to those days, you're going to find lots and lots and lots.
Yeah. What are you doing, Brandon?
I'm encouraging the people who didn't finish high school. I'm telling them how much I love them.
Oh, okay.
Bob says they ran out of things to teach him in 7th grade, so he quit going and he joined the USMC when he was 17 and got an education there. Bob, 100% love it. Love you for doing that, man. Keep riding Bill Winkle like he's a moose.
I like how he worded that. They ran out of things. He showed up one day and we're like, the printer's not working. We're out of papers. Go home, kids.
He's like, I already know all the stuff you're teaching me, so why am I going to come back?
But I remember, all right, I'm old enough that I remember the projector things where they set the screen down and would write on it, and that would project on the screen. Now, Gavin is at the age where computers should have been more the thing. Were they using computers, or did they still have this like technology?
Well,
and
I had the entire transition. So when I was in first grade, I also went to poorer schools in my very early years. So when I was in first grade, I was in a classroom, but we had like the projectors, stuff like that, where you write and things, and we had like the whatever technology they had then. But then second grade, I was out in a trailer outside of the school was my classroom. And we had like, we had very minimum supplies there. And then I came and I moved to Ohio. I went to Arizona schools at the time. And then I moved to Ohio and lived in the country. And they had a little bit nicer technology. And over the years, I remember everyone thought it was so cool when we got the whiteboard that had the pen, and you like projected on the whiteboard itself, and the pen you had to calibrate it 5 times for it to work, and then you could write on there and all that stuff. And now they just give us all they just give the students tablets.
True.
We used to have a Mimeo thing where you could actually, like, in order to make copies, you would turn this thing and it would print blue, and the paper was actually a little bit wet because of the ink that was being used.
Like a printing press?
There was no such thing as a copy machine back then either.
That's how Brett, when he was in high school. Time for driver's ed. All right, hold on a second. Let me get the car getting ready.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh, that's funny.
Did you have to, Brett, have a license to park your horse at school?
No, but we did have to have a shovel.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, like that made me snort. And I had, Bob, you got Brandon trying not to shoot coffee out his nose is 100% right. I laughed so hard reading that other one saying, when you said printers, the first thing I thought is he's got a response. Bob's gonna be like, they didn't have printers back then. Like, I saw it. Oh, that's funny. Oh man, you guys got like my nose running. You got me
printing press. You had something.
No, not like we do, buddy. Not
like you. But they had a way to put ink on paper that was not handwritten.
Yeah, they did. I bet Bob was using a feather.
That would be handwritten.
Yeah. It's still pen to paper. It's still.
I said that isn't handwritten.
You would actually put the letters in, just like
I said ink to paper.
I'm right then. Go ahead, Brett.
But it's handwritten.
I said Brett.
I mean, you don't remember the typeset where you would actually have the letters that you would put in order to be able to spell out the words. That was the way newspapers used to be made before, with a plate that then would stamp on it, all of. Yeah, we had those as well.
So did you actually do the stamp, and that's how you get the news out? Like, a teenage girl pregnant in Brett's class.
Well, that would be like, the test that you had in school and stuff. That would be kind of how you made the copies so everybody had their test.
Brett, were you a good student? I just picture you being a troublemaker.
I feel like he was a really good student. I feel like he was quiet.
It was a combination of both. Grade wise, I was kind of the nerd teacher's pet.
Yeah, I can see that.
Graduated second in a class of 450 in high school. But also was the one who would create problems in school to where I had one teacher she told me to get the hell out of her class. And I got up and I'm like, you want me to leave? And she's like, no, sit back down. I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Sit up? Or because I always challenged the teachers and would create problems. So
I had a teacher leave me in class during a fire.
I went to the dean of students 3 times for fireworks and that kind of stuff in college. and I had, the dean of academics giving me letters of commendation. So you play both sides of the coin.
That's
I remember
true.
one time we had a fire drill going on, and I got a horrible leg cramp as I was getting up, and my teacher just left me there. She just left me in the classroom. Like I couldn't move or anything. She'd say, "Want to help me?" She kept telling me, "Like get up." I'm like, "I can't get up. Get 2 students. I need help." And she goes, "Well, just figure it out." And she just left. I've had a couple times teachers have left me like that. I remember, I took a trip to Chicago. With the orchestra and some of the choir kids. I was one of the choir kids. And there was a girl there that I had a thing for. She was actually an ex. And we were thinking about getting it back together. And we're talking and stuff. We're having a good trip. And she and all of her dumb friends wanted to go try on clothes at this huge mall that they couldn't afford anything at. And the lines were super long to try on clothes. None of these tourists could afford. And we're standing there, and I'm waiting. In my mind, I'm all like, yeah, this is going to give me brownie points towards action. It's going to be a good time. And I'm waiting instead of enjoying my time doing stuff I wanted to do. And I get a text from my teacher saying, "Hey, the buses are leaving in 5 minutes. Where are you?" And I said, "Hey, the buses aren't leaving until we get there. We're on our way. Come on." We're like running around trying to find these buses, and she calls me. She says, "Look, we're on a schedule right now. If you don't get over here, you're just going to have to figure it out." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm 17. They're also all minors. We're in the middle of Chicago. We're not going to figure it out. I'll be fine. They're going to freak out, and I'm not dealing with that. That is a school bus, not even like a crazy tour bus or anything. It's not a city bus. Tell them to wait." And we got there in like the nick of time. They closed the doors. It was like a Spider-Man movie. And I'm running towards the bus, yelling, "Stop the bus! Stop the bus!" And I'm running. We finally get on. And I was pissed off. I was like, "I can't believe you're going to leave like sophomores and juniors and one senior in the middle of Chicago."
I feel like that's a movie. Like that's ready to be made.
Yeah, I was damn near Home Alone.
I was going more Ferris Bueller's Day Off because it is in Chicago.
No, we were like in the city of Chicago.
They almost kicked me out of college because in our college, you were able to go and be like a student liaison for new students coming in. So after my freshman year, I was down there and I was kind of like the liaison for new potential students. And I took like these girls out to a party at the neighboring university. And I got busted for that. Like 2 months later, somehow the dean found out from somebody who ratted on me and almost got kicked out of college.
Why didn't you just say no, you didn't do it?
Because they had this, the girls there also admitted that I took them to the party. What am I going to do?
Say, "No, they didn't. No, I didn't."
Nah, you're better off just taking the punishment.
Was there any proof or evidence that you even knew these women?
Yeah, they were part of the group that was assigned to me.
Oh, okay. Well, did you have messages like
no?
Yeah, you didn't have text messages saying, "Hey, we're going to the party together," because you didn't have the phones.
You didn't have phones that had text messaging back
I was going to say
that's my point. That's my point. So you didn't have these messages.
He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand the difference on that. See, like Gavin's growing up and he's in Chicago having teachers text him, "Hey, the bus is leaving." Do you know what my teachers did? Left. Like you had to find your way back to the hotel and find a payphone. Like Brett had it worse than that. They didn't even have payphones. So like I'm laughing because he's like, "Oh, they have no evidence." Dude, they didn't give two shits about that. If he was told he's not supposed to take them to a party and he's in charge of them and he took them to a party, he's gonna get in trouble no matter what. But
take him to a party.
Yeah, he did. And if they admitted it, they're not going to listen to the dean. They're not going to listen to a word he says. Like, you're 100% wrong on that. I love you to death, but no. I'm telling you, I've gone to college. I've done this.
I feel like it used to be so easy to get away with stuff if you really wanted to.
I believe you think that.
Really?
Yes, because you're thinking it as, oh, well, you need evidence. The parents didn't need evidence, dude. I grew up in a time, and I know Brett's the same, and he's older than me, that it was your parents didn't need evidence. If they thought you did something wrong, they would beat the shit out of you and tell you, nope, you're wrong. And like now kids are like, oh, prove it. Nope, you're wrong, Mom. Look, Google says it's this. And like kids today have it at the palm of their fingertips at all times. And their parents aren't keeping up with the technology like the kids are.
Yeah.
And that, well, dip me in honey, roll me in sugar, call me call me shorty and light me ablaze. It's Brandon. I love you, Mike. I missed you, buddy. Oh, that's funny. But like, I love you to death, Gavin, but it's the age difference on this. And I know both sides because I saw what my parents dealt with. And to this day, if my grandma disagrees with my mom, she literally is like, no. And like does not have a second thought. That's my mom, you're my kid. And for Brett, his parents didn't give two craps. If he like, and the dean, he's supposed to be walking these kids around and being the example for the college. He could have taken them to
anything outside of the standard what you're supposed to do, and you'd be in trouble.
Dead trouble. And they could have made it up. They could have all been like, excuse me. They could have all been like, hey, Brett, or hey, Dean, we're not coming here because Brett didn't show us where blah, blah, blah was. And then he told us all we're going to this party. And he took us there. And he probably didn't even need to go to the party. The dean would have still gotten him in trouble. Like it's just how the time frames went. There's no picture evidence. There's no
bad after the fact. I got busted for alcohol in the room, and then I got busted for shooting fireworks at the girls that were TPing our dorm. And,
so it sounds to me more like it's not because there's a lack of evidence, but it's because of your character and the way that you behaved throughout high school that no matter what, they would have believed you.
College, yeah.
Yeah, or college.
I think that's different.
I got busted 3 times for 3 different things.
Yeah.
2 relating to alcohol.
Yeah.
And that didn't count the times that I didn't get busted.
Because if you're a star student and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, there's no way that you can tell me. I
agree with what you're saying.
You had a relationship with the dean where it was all like, hey, he knows who I am. He knows that I don't break the rules. Or he thinks that I don't break the rules. And he knows these girls, and he knows that they've gotten in some trouble, which I'm sure they did because they were college students. They were going to parties they weren't supposed to. If it was your word against theirs, he would have taken your word. But because you had these other things,
he would have never taken my word because they were prospective students, and I was a student.
Correct. And that's what the problem is.
What do you mean prospective student?
They were still deciding whether or not they were going to come to the university.
And then he made the university look bad, which is like if you went out and you decided to go
the university look good, but the university thought it made them look bad.
You and I agree on that, and Gavin would agree on that too. But at the same point, that's where the problem comes in.
The parties.
But that's not the point. My thing is you're not supposed to. Because like I went to a college where the same type of thing happened, and I had nothing to do with the party, but I was at the party. I wasn't leading anybody around. Now, I will say this. I know in particular, I was a troublemaker as a kid. I know that my teachers loved and hated me a lot. I bet none of you would have ever thought of that. And I could get into so much trouble and then literally be in the class the next day, and everybody's like, how is he still here? So
because you had to be?
No. You could get suspended and not be told to come back, and like you get a week suspension. And then you have the principal when you're sitting down going, you know what? I understand your side. I understand the teacher is saying this. Why don't you go back to class tomorrow and just not misbehave, Brandon? And I'm like, it's not that I'm misbehaving. I'm like, Brett, I ask questions because I want answers. But then if I don't agree with your answer, I want you to show me, like, how come you're telling me X, Y, and Z? Why are you telling me 2 + 2 = 5 when really the rest of the world says it's 4? And like, I'm asking that question. They don't like that. I have to do one thing. I'm sorry. Everybody is saying, ready?
Happy birthday, Breakthrough Show.
This is a special day. It is the Breakthrough Show's 3rd birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, Happy birthday, Breakthrough Show, not Jessica Dugas. Happy birthday.
Show what's up, yep.
Yep. You ready? Happy birthday, Breakthrough Show. Happy birthday.
We don't need any of that. Happy birthday, Breakthrough Show.
Now we got all that.
Right. I got both of you on that one. I love it. Oh, that was funny. That was funny.
Orangutan nipples.
So we are here to. I'll put you back in your corner, Gavin.
Oh, thanks.
I like being on bottom. There we go.
How do you switch them around like that?
I'm not telling you. Maybe you should try stuff once in a while. You know.
Miracle! Look at that. Yep, look at that. Oh, there's my age showing. I figured out technology like that.
Yeah, your age showing. Brett, show him how to do it. Show him you know how to do it. Show him. Boom! Oh, Brett's age showing. He's been working on shit. Boom, shakalaka. Take that, young blood. All right, guys, I'm going to skip over all of that. We're going to get into the next thing. We have had a good first hour today. We've had a lot of fun. Brett, you have a movie coming up that we're going to be talking about on Thursday. It is the...
We're going to be talking about... The Joker.
Hey, what was that about age showing?
Yeah, I'm
right.
with you.
Yeah.
You get it. Gavin,
Exactly
get him.
right.
Get him, Gavin. I'll stay quiet for a second. Go ahead, get him.
I honestly, I don't want to get him because I'll just forget that I got him in the next 5 minutes.
It's true. You know, that's the good thing about age. You can get beat on and then not know about it 5 minutes later.
He's saying he's old. We're having a conversation about the Joker on Thursday. For anybody that hasn't seen it, this is a trigger movie. A lot of people have been into this movie and seen it. They see that they make mental health look like it looks like a glorified thing. I will tell you right now, you're going to want to be there this Thursday. Thank you, Gavin. You want to join this conversation?
Yeah, it most definitely does not glorify mental health in any way, shape, or form. If anything, it sheds a lot of light onto how difficult it is to deal with mental health and how difficult it is to function in society when you have a mental health issue.
100% yes. And that is why we talk about these things. I do have an idea for next week, though, but you and I are going to talk off air about that. And, guys, I look forward to today because we have a good guest coming on. And Brett, on Thursday, we're going to be talking about the Joker, not Batman, just the Joker. And we're going to actually find superpowers that the Joker brings. And we're not trying to make it turn into a positive thing, but we are trying to show that even in your darkest times, there is light that can be seen and leadership that can be brought out. Go ahead, Brett. I see you wanting to change my words.
No, absolutely right. You know, it's really that, the superpowers of villains can be just as effective in life and leadership as the superpowers of the heroes. And in fact, I think we make some references to the fact that sometimes the exact same superpower that the Joker has is also illustrated by Batman.
Correct.
So it's not about whether you're a hero or a villain. So it's really how you choose to use these superpowers.
And finding your superpower. Because I related to this Joker, and I'm not going to go shoot up anybody, and I'm not like starting a civil war or anything yet. So, like, Gavin's face was so worth that joke for me. And then who muted Brett? I love it. They're just like, mute Brett. We are like Brett's laugh. Mute. Mental health is so important. Everyone has unhealed trauma, and it affects everyone around you. Oh my God, Miss Delport, I 100% agree with you on that. 100%. We are making a mockery of mental health and not taking it seriously. Mental health is where you start. because if you can wash your car from the top down, you can you have to like get all the dirt pushed down and it cleans it, because you don't want dirty rims. Nobody likes a dirty rim job. Like, you gotta have it be clean. All right. And both of your faces were so worth that. Like, if neither of you made a face, I would have been so sad. But you have to be able to know, like, you start here. If you can fix this, the diet becomes easy. Your words will change. Your heart will stop being as hard, and you won't see as much negative out there. And guess what? That is what we're after. We are after change. We are after adapting. We are after love and compassion for each other in here. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do not miss out on Thursday, because Brett Gordon is going to be going live 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Standard Time, whatever you EST.
Daylight time. You're right this time.
I was right, but I said it both to upset Jessica Dugas, just because I want to see her write a comment. Jessica, we know you didn't get to see the hello at the beginning, but we did give you a lot of love this morning. We hope you're feeling better. Sending good vibes to you and the kids. Bob Seymour's running up north for a little bit. Bob. See you tomorrow, Bob. Have fun with Bullwinkle today, buddy, on the motorcycle. Brett, I love you. We're going to put you in the backstage for a little bit. You're going to help by sharing the comments and bringing up everything with the show and helping us run this. I love you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest coming on in the next few seconds. His name is Kawan K. After many trials, Kawan has found out that fitness and business were the things that he understood. He became a master trainer and now owns not one, not two, but 3 gyms, getting 3 times the amount of people healthier than one gym can do. Before that, there were also many failures that he underwent, and failure leads to success, and he is still learning today. He's the host of a podcast called ValueVerse, and he's currently building a brand that helps individuals achieve better outcomes in life that lead them towards their success and learning from their failure. But by going from 0 to top trainer as in a highly recognized gym chain, and by helping build 3 profitable gyms, he's been through it all and can save you years and years of pain. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Brett Gordon, for being here. But it's time to bring in Mr. Kawan.
Hey, how you doing today?
Hey guys, how's it going? That was an awesome intro. I don't know if I can live up to that. How you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
You will live up to it. I already read your bio, looked you up. I got your Instagram back here ready. I followed you already. I'm awesome. Ready for you. All right, cool. Kawan, let's start off. What is your favorite book you've read? I'm going to throw random questions at you at first. Ready? We're just going to have fun.
Yeah, I love it, man. My favorite book, there's 2 that's currently tied, but I have to go with Mastery by Robert Greene. That's my one. The next one will be Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. That's also one of my favorites there as well.
I have not read that one yet. That you got me on that one. I love it. So what made you, as you said, you've had failure upon failure, and you realize that gyms and business is where you succeed. How did you come to this?
Man, that's a great question. After doing so many things, halfway in my life and not really, just being very directionless, not really doing much with it, I stumbled upon, fitness again, as it was introduced to me when I was younger. And it was just a chance for me to show up for myself and do things for myself, with my own accountability. And I love the feeling of getting better. And then that just sort of avalanche or snowball affected, if you will, into other areas of my life where I was able to, take that and apply it to other things. Right. And fitness was the beautiful thing about it, is it is transferable in that regard. Right. You can always take it to the next thing you're doing. So that's my message, to everybody, is just to get physical and do something that you know how to do to kind of get out of your own way and help figure things out for yourself. So it was just a lot of pain, man, that I felt in my life. And that working out was something that I did to get an outlet for that, and also to see improvements, and then say, okay, well, I like this feeling. How do I do this more?
So you've acquired 3 gyms already. Are you extremely hands-on in each of these gyms, or what is your process so that you're able to make sure that they're running efficiently while also not burning yourself out?
Yeah, man, great question. When we first opened up, we were very hands-on. We all worked, we did everything. I mean, clean the bathrooms, make sales calls, just sort of getting the, operations on a daily basis. And then as we started to grow in member base, with gyms, you start to get members and that sort of starts filling up. We were able to start, delegating more a little bit, hiring, individuals, awesome team members that just have, more energy and more, better perspectives as well in what they're doing. So then we were able to say, hey, we can now step back and step away from the operation. So now I'm not hands-on as much. I come in and we do quick meetings throughout the week, if that, and then I kind of let the team run itself. When we first opened, somebody gave me a perfect piece of advice. They said, some of the best owners are the ones that are able to step away from the operations and allow the gym to run itself. So we try to give them a lot of freedom, but in that freedom, also responsibility as well.
Nice. Do you plan on opening more gyms then and continue to expand, or are you just going to let these 3 kind of upgrade and build up and just really invest your time and money into those?
Yeah, so we are expanding. We're going to locations 4 and 5 this year. That'll be in Northern California, and then also downtown San Diego as well. And then we're looking at different, smaller operations to kind of affect more people and get the sort of tap into the class market of, the basic boot camps type of things next is what we're imagining to do.
I like that.
What separates your gyms from others? Because honestly, and this is not me insulting your gym, I'm being 100% honest. There's a lot of gym owners out there, and gyms are like restaurants, 3 out of 10 maybe succeed. And that's really a hard business to get into. What separates your gym that people would sign up for? Because I love to go to California, and now I know a gym I can go to with knowing you.
Yeah, man, please stop by anytime. Both of you, anybody there, who's listening, you're more than welcome. It's open door, and try it out free, see how you like it. With us, it's a great question. Gyms, all right. So, I started off in a big box gym, 15,000, members, and you kind of just it's hard to connect with others. I always love gyms because of that sort of melting pot of just different personalities, people from walks of life, that it's just so hard to meet if you're not in that, environment where you're working in corporate office with thousands of people, or just the person that's always on the move. So, connecting with others in the gym is kind of what helped me to get to where I am. I just, had open conversations with people. So our gym's on a smaller member base. So we stay under 2,000 to 3,000 members. So that allows for that, more hands-on, more personal, touch with all the members, of knowing each member in there. I mean, some of these gyms, you get lost in them. Nobody knows who you are anymore, right? And you get friends with the person that signed you up, and then that's kind of it, unless a personal trainer takes an interest in you. So we try to be, hands-on, communicative, remember, details about people, and just know your members, just connect with them. As human beings, I think that's kind of what we're meant to do. That's why I love your guys' show, and what you're doing is just bringing those people together with positivity and human connection, which is, I think, what we're designed for.
I feel like a great way to help, one, bring in revenue, but 2, mostly build that community further in your gyms, would to have competition weeks where you do a variety of different exercises so you can do it best. And the nice thing about that too is you could do different things with cardio and calisthenics. So it's not just the guys who are crazy strong, but you have a variety of body types and capabilities going into these challenges.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's kind of what we're doing now is getting all types of people that, that wouldn't otherwise do these things to have access to these type of workouts and things like that. So it's just, the Anytime Fitness model makes it easier because it is a franchise. So you're easily able to scale versus like a mom and pop gym, right? So scalability is key because you can't banks, loans, they're not going to give you, they're not going to believe in you. Sure, I might think I have the best gym, But that's what the beauty of the branding does for you, is allows you to open a little quicker with a proven model. So we're able to sort of reach those people there. And we've been very lucky in that process of doing so.
With being the one in charge, it's one of the biggest failures, because I own my businesses, and one of the hardest things to do is actually get staff that believe your vision, that believe in what you're trying to do. You go through lots of ups and downs like that. Can you give me an example of how you've been able to, I'm going to use a really unique way of saying this, weed out the people that like aren't matching your brand, even if they're good people? How have you been able to determine who's going to follow your brand and build it up the best?
That's such a great question on the hiring process. With that, we look for individuals that have sort of some of the same values we have, or have a story, and also are, coachable and proactive individuals, right? So people that come in, take, ownership of kind of what they want to do. And we don't like to micromanage. So we step away and allow them to run with ideas, or to just go handle their own department there, whether it be fitness or whether it be, sales. And I don't know how to really describe it, but when you're doing an interview, it just sort of clicks sometimes. You talk and you're sitting with the person, and you just feel like you're on the same wavelength. And usually it's about caring for others, about being of service. It's about having a story, and being, a part of it, right? Wanting to help individuals, right? And learning and just being coachable. I think with those is what I look for. And if I see some of those, even one or two of those, you're able to like capitalize on other areas as well. I think being coachable in essence is probably the best one, honestly. If you're just open-minded, you can get so much done.
I love this question. You're getting questions from South Africa now. You better be ready to expand. I hope you're ready. How did COVID affect you in business and private life, trying to build your brand? How were you able to cope?
Man, great question. COVID, first of all, it floored all of us there. I still remember looking at TV, seeing the announcement. We had a couple days to close down, and we were shocked. It was March 17th, I think, and our anniversary was April 5th for the 1 year. So we didn't even hit our 1 year mark. And we were sitting there thinking, man, we were almost there, and it was done. It was taken away from us. So we had to shut down. I went home. I was living with my roommate at the time, and he's also a trainer there. And I was just sitting there. I had nothing to do. I couldn't do anything, and I had all this time on my hands. I didn't know what to do. I was going stir crazy. I would walk around the neighborhood, and I'd go to the beach. And I said, what am I going to do with all this free time that I have? And that's kind of what led me to, believe it or not, look into doing something on social media. So I started tinkering around with Instagram and playing around with, how to get more followers and Facebook marketing. And then I started growing followers. So I just started posting daily. And then I said, oh, this is great. And that's kind of where ValueVerse came from, which was, in essence, if the pandemic didn't happen, I don't think, I'd be here. Right. So I used that time to really sit down and just, proactively go after things that were in my control. So I've tinkered around with the Instagram. I grew a large following. I said, okay, now what? What are you going to do with this? Right. So I said, well, this podcasting thing seems really cool. How do I do that? Because I love talking to people, and I think it's just a great space, and podcasting in general is just brilliant. So that's it. That's really where it came from. So the pandemic kind of caused that to happen. But COVID hit us, and then we bounced back on the second reopening. We had to build an outdoor gym. I mean, to say that we were stressed is an understatement, but I think we pulled through there in the end.
I love that you say it like that, because you said it with such, like, you're saying, like, look, there was a crappy situation, but instead of letting me dictate that, instead of letting it dictate who I am as a person, I'm going to break through and create new barriers for myself, for my business. What would be one of your biggest struggles during that you got through?
So for the pandemic, I think one of the bigger struggles with the gym, also, with the brand as well, or podcast, was figuring out the first of all, the reopening and then the shutdown, and then, being flexible and adaptive to reopening an outdoor gym and immediately just taking so much action on a constant basis was mind numbing there. But we pulled through on that end. It just, however, the ability to be adaptive and flexible were the biggest takeaways for me on that, was to allow yourself to, okay, here's this event that happens to you. What are you going to do with this event? Because you ultimately have a couple of different responses or mindsets that you can approach this with, and that's going to dictate your outcome, right? And that was the takeaway there. I think the biggest part or struggle of it all, and I think for a lot of individuals, is when I read, I think it was Tribe of Mentors by Tim Ferriss, was a lot of these issues are just common engineering problems, right? We don't know how to put together certain things or parts or areas to make a reality, a dream, a reality, or a goal, a reality, right? Is how do I do this all? So I had to kind of like figure out what were the hardest things that I wasn't going to be good at, and how can I outsource these so that I'm not, either taken aback by some sort of chore-like task or just extreme difficulty that'll make me quit. So finding out the easiest ways to get past those hurdles for yourself so that you don't foresee any unforsaken stops to your progress was key for me.
How have you been with everything going on? How have you been able to make sure that you're able to keep your back covered, but then also keep your gym affordable for customers?
So we try to go off like a value proposition model where we have the flexibility. So when you're a corporate, you're not really allowed to play around too much with pricing or very stuck and rigid, right? So we have like so many different plans that we can allow, the member or the guest there to choose from, and that works with them so that we can work with them on getting to their goals and getting results. So we all, it's a lot of math, a lot of crunching of numbers, and some of it's, painful to do, but necessary. And then from there, you figure out, okay, what's my price point? How do I make this, a win-win, right? And I think that's the key for both, and anything in life really, and just business especially, is, let's be honest. It's win-win is what you want to go for. You can't overextend by helping the guest more and then taking a hit, and you don't want to take all the wins and not help the guest either. So it's how can we make this work together?
Right. So just out of curiosity, do you do digital stuff? Like, are you doing online stuff for people that maybe are still nervous with COVID and they don't want to be in public and that? Do you do digital?
Yeah, we do. So we use a program called Flexit that allows for virtual training as well. And we also give our trainers the autonomy to do online virtual FaceTime sessions if need be with clients or with members that were with us from the beginning that just didn't really feel comfortable coming back. So we had a lot of that going on, and that's helped a lot also, which just really shed light on the fitness arena in general, or area in general. Is that was another thing, is like, how do you stay relevant with this market here as well, by appealing to those that don't feel comfortable yet. So we do offer that virtual training as well, and that's been a big help and time saver.
Oh yeah, I just asked because tomorrow is our Wednesday, and Wednesdays we work out. Like, we have a half-hour segment that we do a segment that no matter how tight your space is, if you can lay down, you have enough space to work out.
Yeah.
And so so I was going to say, we need to get you on here one day and just work us out. Like, Joe just got on here. Brandon, what did you do to your beard? How does everybody notice my beard? I had to trim my lip, and because my lip was getting so long. Joe's usually the one that trains us on Wednesdays. So I have to convince him that you're going to do that, but I don't think he'll have a problem with it. He loves seeing different workouts. I just think it'd be fun to have you come on, pick on Gavin and I, and be like, hey guys, come on. What we do is we focus on why the essential of the working out. It's not that you're working out. It's you have a whole community of people that are working together, that are trying to get their best self. and you're doing it from your house. And that's why bringing you on, how like Gavin needs to know how to do a push-up correctly. He knows how to, but I'm just saying, there's people that don't. And we like to make sure we provide that atmosphere for them. And why do we do curls a certain way? And Joe's just going to keep making comments until I point him out. Please put them through hell. I mean that as a nice workout. So I usually will throw on a onesie, like an adult onesie, to make everybody laugh as well. And I think you would have a great time with that. So that's why I had to ask. So Kawan has a website here. I'm going to share with everybody. Share screen. I want you guys to be able to go share this website, click on it, get product update, launches, announcements, and more. Sign me up. I'm clicking on it. Oh, I guess I have to go through this. Bicycle, verified. I am not a computer. And I just signed up Brett, the guy who was on right before you. I used his email to subscribe. Oh, I thought it was going to take me somewhere. I'm sorry.
That's cool. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. I signed Brett up. Don't worry, I signed up before this. But my goal was to be able to get Brett signed up to every single one of our guests that we have on without him knowing that he's doing this, even though I do it live on air. But you were mentioning how you started sharing and your social media blew up and how it grew. And I honestly think this is pretty stinking cool. You have 13,000 followers. It says I'm not logged in, so that's why it's not followed. I followed you on my phone. So Delight's Digital Cafe is following you. Absolutely, brother. You really are taking some pretty good stuff. This one impressed me. Easy tips to skyrocket your Instagram. Know your target audience. How does someone even know what their target audience is to find that?
Right. So, and touching back on the earlier point there, I'd love to come on and give you guys the most awesome workout possible. Yeah. So, please tell.
We love that.
Please tell the gentleman that I'm all in. So the Instagram basically, I can't even take credit for all these. I outsourced a lot of these posts, and what I do is I pick one or two of the topics on there, and I'll just add value. So the target audience is key because, if you're trying to appeal to everyone, you're going to appeal to no one, right? Yeah. So I choose individuals that are in the 20s to even late 40s or 50s to have what I'm trying to spread here, this message, right, of better outcomes, of up leveling yourself, self-mastery and self-improvement. So, okay, who are those individuals that are going to help or that will listen to my message, right? I think outside of that, there's some great books on it. 1,000 True Fans. I think it's by Kevin Kelly, I think is the name. I might be butchering that, but you're not going to appeal. You don't need 10 million people to like you. You just need 1,000 solid fans that believe in what you have to say and will listen to what you have to say. And I think that's kind of what is an important thing to go after is, okay, who are those people that are going to listen to what I'm, the message that I'm trying to spread. So finding that is key, and knowing who you're talking to, even writing it to one person. It could be, okay, when I write my content or when I do my podcast, I'm going to aim for this individual so that, that person can benefit. So if it can, hold some light or, basically be relevant to that individual, I can reach other individuals like him or her.
I love that. With doing that, you outsourced it, you said. So you're not making all of these and having your logo put on them, or you?
Oh no, yeah, no, I'm not that talented. No, I got a graphic designer and did that, and that was one of the barriers that held me back because on Instagram or any social media, you got to post every day.
Every day,
every single day, and for me, it was like, oh, man, doing workout videos and all that. I just know that inherently by nature, unfortunately, I'm a lazy person, right? Yeah. So I'm like, how do I, not even get into that problem? I'm like, okay, well, get content that's pre-made or that you can at least has some value in it, and then just pay, and then just get that done, and it'll save you, hours upon hours, right? So I'm all about that time. Saving time, if it's something's going to save me a few hours a day, yeah, I'll gladly pay.
I like how you're phrasing that, because why stress yourself out on things, teaching yourself something new that you don't have to get the people who are already experts on it, get them in there. I love it. Gavin, I thought you had a question. I interrupted. I felt bad. If not,
no, you're good. You're good.
All right, you open your mouth. I'm like, oh shoot, I interrupted his time. Sorry.
No,
Now you're in California, correct, Kawan?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to ask a question I would never ask a lady. You look like you're like about my age, maybe a little older. I'm 38. You don't have to answer the actual age, but what was your age when you made the big change to actually push yourself towards changing your lifestyle, not just diet and exercise? You've changed it all to be that influence and the leader you are today.
Yeah, thanks. And I am 38 as well. So, yep.
Best friends.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yep, right back at you. And beautiful age, by the way. Beautiful age.
I agree.
So, so I started younger. I was doing martial arts, and I got into the gym. It was like 19, 20. And then I got injured, and then I ran the heck out of the gym. I said, I'm never going back. This gym's like evil. I got hurt here, right? And that was when I was younger, and I moved to Los Angeles in 2009, and that's when I think I was around 26 or 27. My mentor at the time, George Maloulis, if you're listening, thank you. He knocked on my door, man, and said, "Hey, do you want to go for a run?" And that run, nearly killed me. And I was a smoker at the time, so I smoked a pack a day. I partied a lot. So, I was not inclined towards health and fitness at all. And, when I came back from that run, I was hurting, man. I was feeling all sorts of, there's that feeling where you can't breathe, that run is just your body's tired. So I just remember, I was like 26, I think it was 26. And I said, we're pulling up to a traffic light, and I kind of just made a decision where I just said, I'm going to stop, doing things halfway or not being, fully committed to something. So I said, I'm going to do this fitness thing, and I'm going to stick with it no matter what. And I remember there was so many times where I wanted to stop, or there was just negativity that was telling me, hey, what are you going to do, man? Be like a professional bodybuilder? You're too old for that. And I was like, oh, well, I'm probably not going to be a pro, because I just was lifting weights. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew that I felt good doing it, and that I enjoyed, the progress that I saw from it. So I said, well, time's going to go on anyways, so I may as well work out and stay healthy, and then we'll see what happens in a few years to do that. So there's never, a late time. I think that is the takeaway. I just did something that, I liked doing, and I felt better about myself doing it.
No, I liked it a lot. How long did it take you to actually start seeing some payback from your business? How many years before your business started actually make you money? And how did you get through? Because I know no matter what you do, you're going to lose money when you're making a business. How'd you push through that struggle of it's been 1, 2, X amount of years, and I'm still losing money, but I really want to do this?
So I had basically, with the gyms, we essentially started becoming profitable after, I want to say, right into year 1. There is when we started becoming profitable. It was we calculated beforehand how many members we needed, and I think that's the key is find that little floor. Is say, okay, I'm safe at this number. So we kind of always knew we had to get to a certain number of members to start, making profit. So that was the goal all along, was hitting that. So when we did our pre-sale, we had accumulated already a bunch of people that believed in us, and that was really encouraging to, even before we opened the doors, to have that. So we planned, we just got on the phones, and just day in and day out, just showed up to it. And I think it rained the first 2 weeks we got here. It sucked. And it was tough. I think the more distress or stress on me was psychological. I was leaving like a 6-figure salary into basically zero income, so
Yeah.
to go for that was, I guess, to answer your question more, is we didn't start making money till well after a year personally. So we just recycled it back into the business, and then, just reinvested into more marketing and more, capabilities to expand and things like that. So personally, yeah, about a year. And then after that is when we started paying ourselves there.
Nice. Got a question, Brandon. You want to take it?
My dogs are barking, so no, you're going to have to read it.
All right. What was your biggest challenge when developing your best self? Diet, exercise, prayer / meditation, creating a routine?
Yeah, great question. When I first started, I was very, very hungry for knowledge. I was pursuing people that knew better things, knew more than me. I always tell people, be open-minded, ask questions, shadow people, get around them, get around people that know more than you, humble yourself, ask questions, keep your mouth shut, just listen, take these things in, right? Be that student. So mentors, big takeaway. And then, yeah, amongst meeting those mentors, was just a ton of books. I read a lot of books on any topic, fitness, business. I still to this day read. So I wake up, 5 a.m. and I'll read 30 to 40 pages of a book that I'm reading. And then I'll go into my, meditation. So I do 10-minute meditations, mindfulness meditation in the morning. I do like a gratitude journal, also like my goals for the day of what I want to do. And just take that moment to sort of stop and realize kind of where I am in life in this wonderful, universe and world that we're in.
Yeah.
And, so the working out right after that as well. And I follow that routine, consistently. So I always say, whatever you want to do, like, just do it daily, whatever, and start small. I love the workout thing you guys are doing. And I always tell people are like, man, working out's so tough. I'm like, what's so hard about it? Find that mental block for whatever it is, whether it's too much time, lower the time down, make it the smallest achievable chunk. Like, you don't have to run for 2 hours, go walk for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Do realize that a lot of the basics for whatever you want to do, you can find for free.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the basics for no matter what the skill is, the very basic knowledge you can find for free, and you can test it out somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. I mean, we're, in an information age, and now information before was, I want to say hoarded, was held on to. People didn't want to give you things, right? And now you have to give in order for people to even listen or trust you. And I think that's a beautiful thing that you're saying there. And it's just all about the willingness to get online or on your phone and just look it up, right? And have that. And it all starts within. I think that's, before anybody gets into anything, is to find that place inside and say, why do you want to do this do you want to do it for yourself? Do you want to do it for your family? What's your reasoning? What's your why behind it? And that's going to drive you to further heights, is that internal drive of why you're doing something that you want to do. And that's kind of the big takeaway, where I tell people, even those routines is, I started reading books because someone told me I had to read them. And later I started realizing that it was changing me. Right. And, stick with it, with the routines, whatever it is. Like, you got to give it time. You got to give it 6 months to a year to really start to see, that's it. It's just to really start to see something even take an effect. I want to say 6 months is like, okay, wow, I'm starting to like think differently. I'm starting to feel different. And take note of them. Take journal your stuff. Say, hey, I'm a little, this problem happened. I had this going on. I felt better about it because I had these tools to use. I was watching a YouTube video and I thought it was brilliant, but this guy said, successful people, they have tools that they pull from. They have archives that they pull from. Whenever they encounter things, they got these little, these things that they have saved up or learned from, and just recall back on these resources. So if you don't have those that you've been working on, whether via mentors, routines, reading, you're going to have a limited variety of things to pull from. It's going to be tough to sort of get through a lot of things there, because you just don't know. And that's the beauty of information is get that information, you know?
So finding a mentor is difficult. Like it really is. I've had many mentors in my life. I had a senator for the state of Ohio as a mentor at one point. Mentors are usually, if you're trying to match their level and get to that level yourself, it's difficult. And you have to be able to keep adapting. How would you recommend someone sees and actually chooses the correct mentor for themselves? Because it's very easy to see the success of others and follow that, just thinking that's going to be it. But picking a good mentor that's going to want to see you lift up like that.
Yeah, great question. I was very fortunate into my, obviously working out at the gym. I've met a mentor there as well. So my life has just been, the serendipitous, fortunate. I was fortunate enough to meet many of them along the way. So I think in chasing the thing that you want to do, that can happen as well. However, if you want to go about it in a way where you want to be a little more proactive, I think an important thing to do is first you need to know yourself, and you need to find out what it is that you want to do and to be truly good at or master. And once you find that, that's when you have to, hit the drawing board and say, how do I do this best? What's the best way for me to do this? And, it might involve a geographic move. It might involve just a few emails back and forth until you get the right information, the right knowledge. My message is find the person that's really good at it, and then offer your services, offer to shadow them, offer to do the things, take things off their plate. Say, hey, I have a bunch of free time. I'm willing to, take care of your Excel spreadsheets, for example, and type these things up. And what else can I do for you? What else can I do to make your job or life easier? And that's one of the things that you got to give value to receive it, right? And to receive anything. So offer your services up and shadow somebody in a career that you want to excel in. If you want to be, a top salesman, or if you want to be, great at, posting on Instagram, is follow somebody and say, hey, I'll do these things for you. What can I do? I'm really curious to help you out. I do like these topics that you're talking about. Find that common ground, connect with them. And then through doing that, that person will eventually say, okay, I'll give this person time of day, and we'll take a liking or an interest in you. Worst case scenario, you can always find somebody that is doing that as well, and just say, hey, how much does it cost for you to for a coaching session to help me with this? And man, anything that can even save you a few months is worth it.
I agree. Gavin, do you have anything, or can I go into my next one?
You can go in. I'm just listening. I'm sitting back, I'm shutting up and listening, and I'm just taking it all in.
I'm not used to this. Being a leader, you can have times where you're lonely at times. I just was at a conference with a ton of leaders that are their CEOs of their companies and that. And one of the things we all had that we all talked about together was there's times you're just lonely, because even if your wife's working with you, your colleagues and that, they're great to have around at times, but it's not the same as being yours. And that drive is something that's in us that others might not understand. How did you help yourself grow through those times as a leader of loneliness to keep pushing yourself through? Because that's, I think, where a lot of people fall at the leadership level, is that loneliness sets in where they have to separate themselves from staff and friends and all this other stuff and truly be the leader they're supposed to be. It gets lonely there. How do you handle that? How do you adapt to build yourself up like that?
That's great. And I think this is a fair two-part question in approaching it. You have to have a sustainable approach, because I tried the whole isolation and just working on myself every day. And man, that's a great way to burn yourself out. And I did that a lot. And one of my learnings in that process, you got to reach out to like-minded individuals, and just connect with them. Go outside your comfort zone and go on, even like a group dinner, and just open up with people. Even spending time with you guys here it's like therapy for me. Just connecting, talking to people. Get out there and connect with these individuals, because they're out there just like you, trying to get by as well. So the first part is, I schedule. So I have a therapist. I podcast. I have group dinners that I do. I have a personal trainer, and so I'm always immersed. I'm always around people that stimulate my mind and get me talking, because I'm a social creature by nature, although I do like my time alone, because that gives me my space to reflect, think, strategize, do these things. But you can't do that all the time, because you need human connection. You need to talk to people, test your ideas, and even just, laugh and have fun, man. It's not fun anymore if you can't, have a good time while you're doing it. So, I think the group dinners is something that I like doing, groups of like 4 or 5. I think is always fun, just to get people around, and you're eating, you're laughing together, and you're talking about life, and that space, man, that's huge in and of itself. A beautiful thing there. And there was times where I would get so lost in the work, and I think they do this over at Intel as well, but is wandering about, I think is what it's called. I keep blanking on the name of it, but every time I was having difficult days of was working 60, 70-hour work weeks, I would just walk out into the gym floor and I would just talk to people. What are you up to? What are you doing? What's going on in your life? What kind of things are you facing? Oh, really? How was your weekend? What are you getting into? And then realizing that you're not alone is huge, man, because it's so easy to think, I'm the only person that's feeling this, and I'm not in a great headspace. And, there's other guys just like you and girls just like you out there feeling that. So, go out and reach out with them and create something together and have fun together, talk it out. And, just goes back to that connecting. And at the same time, you got to be okay with not doing too much of that either, and going back into your place and saying, all right, it's okay that I'm good tonight. I'm gonna stay home alone, and I'm gonna focus on me. I'm gonna introspect, and I'm gonna do the things I need to do moving forward. And I think that scheduling it is key. Having like the once a week outing, right? Just put it on the calendar, and get out of that house. Because isolation, it's good, but at the same, too much of it is not great.
What's one thing you love about yourself and one thing you want to improve on?
One thing that I love about myself is that I'm always a learner, right? So I'm always able to look at every single opportunity as an opportunity to learn something. Right? To look at someone, whether it's a conversation, an observation, a book, anything like that, even an argument, even something happens at a traffic light. I'm like, well, what's going on? Why? I need to learn from this. How can I improve from this? Right. One thing that I want to improve upon as well is, in that same, which sounds kind of funny, but is not relearning things all the time either. Right. So it's like, okay, you learned this lesson once already. You don't need to, go over and over again about what this is. Like, take it in, take the learning principles from it, improve, and move on. And I think that's just the human condition. We're just going to repeat things until we go through them and learn from them. So there's so much that I want to improve upon. I think, just relaxing and having fun a little bit, taking it easy, not being so, always in the need to do something. Right. Yeah. So I got to do these things and I have to do them. And it's like, hey, stop by and smell the roses, take this moment in and enjoy this beautiful day, enjoy this moment.
I think there's a natural fear of that for people who are very productive and very work oriented. There's a fear subconsciously of, if I slow down, that I won't get back up. If I take a break today, that I won't start again tomorrow.
Kawan, I'm going to run with that one, and I'm going to see how you feel on this. I think that's more of an Americanized thought because we've put this in our minds that we have to be busy, because how many times, even this morning during my meditation, I had on a motivational video playing in the background. It said, if you're not the first one awake, that means someone's out there before you. And I'm sitting there going, time out. You're telling me sleep's important and I need to get at least X number of sleep, but then I'm also supposed to be the guy that's the last one to leave, the first one to wake up. And I am usually, but at the same point, it's the fact that it's ingrained in us that we have to be doing that. You're not going to always get your best leadership self out there being the first one awake, being the last one to go home. You're just going to be looking for that next thing to accomplish instead of actually hitting that goals and hitting what you're really aiming for. That's just my opinion, but I wanted to run with that and ask you your thoughts on that.
Oh, 100%. You know, especially I love the United States and it's the best country in the world. And I think, you know, it is that where you're always on the want or the need to go do this next thing and go achieve this next thing. And it absolutely is true. I think we're in this, you know, this day and age where there's so many other things are showing up now, right?
Yeah.
The whole mental health movement. What was always health for me as well. And, you know, it just starts to take a toll on you. Like you start to do this every day and you don't love yourself. You don't take care of yourself. And then, you know, you drive yourself into the ground. And I was fortunate to have, you know, I'll never forget, I was working out, I was training a client and, you know, this guy, his name's Cade. He was awesome. He mentored me in a lot of things. He basically, you know, he was like, "Hey man, how was your weekend?" It was just, you know, we were just starting to work out and everything. And I said, "Oh, you know, well, my weekend was great, man. I worked, you know, 60, 70 hours a week, training. And then I also had a restaurant job at the time. So I was like, and I also worked there. So I was pulling like 70, 75 hour work weeks. And then I was like, yeah, man. And I wore like a badge of honor. Like, I was super excited and happy that I did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looked at me and it was just a very nonchalant thing. He just said it so nonchalantly that it just stuck with me. I said, that's my life, man. And, you know, I laughed it off. And he just really, really under his breath just said, you know, what kind of life is that?
Yeah.
And he started his set. So I couldn't really say anything when he said that. So I had to wait. And I was just brewing on it. And I was like, hey, man, what did you mean by that? Like, why did you say, you know, what kind of life is that? Like, what does that mean? And he said, well, you know, do you ever want to go out and maybe do something and have fun or do something? And I said, oh, that never really occurred to me. And I thought, why would you want to have fun where you can go make money? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went home and that whole night, Brandon, it just, that question never left me.
Mm-hmm.
And it started making me realize, okay, there's more to it, man. There's more to it than this. And, you know, that year, it was 2017. I lost my dad that year. Right?
Sorry.
And thanks, man. And it was tough. And I was looking back and I mean, this guy was a workhorse, right? He had extreme work ethic and to the core from 5 a.m. to 7 days a week. And, you know, eventually, you know, you're going to go from something. It's going to be stress, it's going to be anxiety. You know, he passed away from a heart attack and it was tough, man, because I saw that and I came back and I went to go, you know, do the funeral. I came back and I quit my restaurant job right then and there. And I said, I got to give that time to myself to sort of figure things out and slow down. And, you know, effective people, athletes, you know, all these people that are successful doing what they're doing, they know how to slow down. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's important to work hard. Nobody's saying, you know, don't put in hard work. You can't, you know, not do that. But you got to know when to take the foot off that gas pedal a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, in fitness, you work out, you bring a muscle to exhaustion. The growth happens when you sleep, right? Yeah. It doesn't happen when you're always hitting that muscle over and over and over again. You're going to exhaust that muscle. That brain and the heart is the same thing. You got to look at it like that. Like these things are muscles that need rest, man. They just need it.
Mm-hmm. How and then we're going to get into our final question. So this is going to be some fun with this one. How do you self-love? I ask this because I've gotten people to tell me so many fun things. And I mean this as in like one of my favorites I ever got, just so you have an example, is I had a guy tell me he does manicures. And I asked why. And he goes, oh, I bite my nails. And the minute I started getting a manicure and a pedicure, it made me not want to bite my nails. And since then, anytime I see myself on air and I'm like not noticing that I'm biting my nail, I'm like, I need to go get a manicure done. Like I notice those things. What do you do, Kawan? That's self-love.
Man, so this is going to be very simplistic there, but so I'm fortunate enough to live about 4 or 5 miles from the beach, and
I hate you.
Oh, that's amazing.
so my buddy and I it was actually over the pandemic. My roommate Will at the time, he got me into surfing, and
Nice.
man, I grab I'm still a beginner, but I'll grab a surfboard and I'll just go out and just spend time in nature. And I think that's just been a big one there. And it was like, I was reading so many articles on the effects of nature, on the, bless you, on the,
Thank you.
basic effects on the brain. Right. And so I'm all about nature, man. It's just get out there and just hang out in the forest, the beach.
You
Take that in.
Where are you in California? If you don't
San
mind me asking.
Diego. Not at all. San Diego.
So, my sister literally just flew out of there yesterday. She was there for a conference all week and was like, where do I go? I'm like, I only know like 2 people in San Diego. I'm not the best help for that city. Like I lived in Oakland for a year. And I have to admit, when you can go walk the redwoods, it changes like your perception on things. You're like, wow. Like your whole, because I'm an outdoor guy. Leave me outside 24/7. I could hang in a hammock in the winter and I just need the right blanket, like, or the right surrounding. But the truth is, when you're out in nature, it's just different. And like my dad and I talk about this all the time because I'm a former youth pastor. So we go religion on things a lot, but I've sat there and I'm like, he's got his phone on him and he's like, listen, we're out and just sitting in the backyard and he has a whole forest behind him that nobody can touch because it's a metro park system. And I'm like, how many birds have you heard today? Well, I don't know, a few, but I'm sitting there and in that moment, I could tell you there's 7 different birds that are chirping in different ways and you don't catch it until you're sitting there in that moment. And in nature, it's like, I go back to, and I told him this, that the Bible tells you, I provide for the birds. I provide for the fish and the animals of the sea. Why wouldn't I provide for you? And I'm like, but you're distracted by your phone and you're distracted by the TV. There's 5 birds out here right now that are giving you a reason, that are making you know how awesome you are.
Oh, man.
And he just looks at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, no, let's go for a walk. Like, for real, it's letting go, put the phone down. All right. So one thing we do on every episode.
First, I got something. I want to know.
Then I'll take Brett out again. I'm sorry.
Get Brett out here. Yeah. I got to know really quick. What is the first thing that you notice when you are fully in nature?
The stillness of it all. It's just there's like these things I was reading. You have to spend, so there's a new study now. It's like 25 and 3. You got to do 20 minutes 3 days a week in nature, or 5 hours a month, or 3 days a year is like the new thing now, right? And there's actually science behind it, guys, where it's like the patterns of the trees, forests, and all these sounds and things. The patterns represent what are called like fractals, which have a correlation with the patterns in the universe, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And it just fascinates me that is kind of what we need there, which is right here on the ground. But yet it's correlated somehow to a bigger picture. So I noticed the stillness, man. I just noticed my mind just stopping, it just is like, oh, wow, look at all these things. And that is the feeling that makes it all better. That is it right there. If you can do that and learn how to like multiply that, I promise you'll be so much more effective and show up in your life in more ways than you can imagine.
I like that a lot. For me, it's the smell, the smell, because that allows my body to process the overall aura and feel of my surroundings.
I like
100%.
that.
100%.
So one of the things we do, I have one last one, and then I'm limiting everybody on their last thing. What is your favorite superhero?
It's a good one, man. In my younger years, it was going to be the Punisher, right?
Oh,
Now, just because he's just like a lone wolf and he doesn't really have that many superpowers, so I'm like, I can relate to that. But man, the genre is just so awesome with superheroes. And then I think it's tough. Iron Man's up there, so he's cool as well. And I'm gonna say Wolverine. So those three. So I gave you like three.
Ooh, you gave us three. Now you're gonna have to stick around after the show. I did this on purpose. Brett, you see how Brett's writing things down? I'm setting something up for you, buddy. I got this. So the way we end every episode is we do a positive affirmation of how we want to leave our impacts on the world. So today, I want everybody to switch it just a twitch. It's how something that scares you, okay, that you're going to do today to break out of your zone, to break out of that thing. That could be something as easy as, like, for me, I do not like being in public without running the events. I hate it. But when I do go in public, I usually make it like I'm in and out of the grocery store. I can do this all day. I don't like people in general because I feel everybody's angry out there lately. So for me, I want to go out today. I have meetings all afternoon, and I want to go out today and without my phone be able to go do a kind deed. That could be buying someone a coffee at Target to just holding a couple doors for people and not expecting anything back. So for me, it's getting me out of my comfort zone of being in the house. And then it also gets me out to be able to do something without wanting anything back. That's where I want to leave my impact today and step out of my, what am I doing that breaks me from my fears? Brett Gordon, I'm going to have you go next, then Gavin, and then Kawan, you got to finish us up strong, buddy. I hope you're ready for this one.
No pressure. Yeah, you got it.
Brett Gordon, talk to me, my friend. You are muted before you start talking.
I usually make a lot more sense when I'm muted.
I know. I was going to leave it.
For me, actually, I'm going to take part of the day to actually connect with somebody that I don't know and help them to become more comfortable and familiar with being in Vegas. Actually, I have somebody in mind, and they just moved to Vegas, so I want to kind of reach out to them and kind of establish our friendship and help them to feel, some love in a new town that they haven't been in for too long.
Love it. Gavin.
Nice. Yeah, so what I would like to take away from this is being able to still be present while taking a break. And that's kind of what I did today. Brennan was sick all of last week and the week before that and the week before that. He hasn't been here in a year, it seems. And you finally have him back here on the show today hosting. And so because of that, while I still very much do love being a part of the show and everything, I wanted to sit back and relax a little bit and give my brain that rest that we talked about every muscle needs, but then still be able to take in information and sort of listen to what Kawan had to say about listening to those who know more about you in certain topics and being able to just sit back and learn. And that's what I wanted to do today and give that to you as well. So thank you.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna have to pay it forward. I think I'm gonna reach out to 5 people today, and I'm gonna tell them that I'm gonna thank them for what they've been in my life, and I'm gonna just tell them that I love them, and I'm gonna spread that. I think that's what needs to happen for me, and just tell them how much of a positive impact they've had in my life and how appreciative I am of that.
Go on, I love that. 5 people today. Everybody who's listening, everybody who's watching, do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all those fun things that I never say that I'm supposed to say. but I'd rather see you go do something outside of your comfort zone today. If you're not going to like, comment, and share, do us a favor and reach out to somebody and just tell them, hey, you're fucking cool. That's all you have to do. I know I've already used my F word. I'm using Gavin's now. So, like, guys, just deep down, reach out to somebody you haven't talked to in a while, want nothing back. Kawan, you are absolutely amazing. Please stick around after the show. Guys, the only way we're going to change this world is by changing ourselves.
Yeah.
Go love, give love, and be the best you can be today. Thank you for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Thank you.